Welcome to Ironhaven for year 76 of this playthrough of Life is Feudal Forest Village. Let's just get them going. So it's -3, nearly the growing season starting, but until then I'm just having a bit of a potter, and given that the 50,000 metres of pastures achievement has been done, I might end up demolishing these over the summer when there's less chance of people snuffing it from hypothermia. One of the shames about the caravan stables is they are capable of... What the bloody hell is that supposed to be? They're capable of just randomly changing when you reload a save game. Just get this back up to where it should be. Oh, come on. Really? There. Well, that should be all. Thank you. Better check the rest of them now. Yeah, if it wasn't for that, this caravan extended mod that I used to allow for 15 trade routes and donkeys would be quite a cracker. Well, I mean, it's good. You just have to wait when you've got, like, I don't know how many caravan stables I've got now, a dozen or more, probably 15 or so. Every time you restart the game, if you remember, it's worth kind of scrolling through them just to see if anything has changed. And the way I use them is to, if the receiver has less than or, so I can just kind of scroll through them as a rule and pick up if any, like this. So I know damn well that that wasn't supposed to be like that, so I can just change it with fair degrees of confidence. But anyway, I'll go through all those off camera because I'm sure the last thing you want is to sit here watching me doing this. Even though I've just done another one. So, yeah, I think this year I'm going to try and just put an end to this fucking nonsense. Just hem us in, protect us from raiders. Probably start demolishing those to clear a space for hostels and whatever else we might need. I'll do the same on the other end. I've got those pastures on the other end, so I'll do that. And I guess if in the long term I'm going to go for tier 1 foods, which, you know, I can need fish farms, lots and lots of fish farms. I think I've written it down somewhere what you need for vitamins, yeah, because there's a requirement to satisfy all the vitamins. No, apparently not. Or not there anyway. Just dog munch yourselves. But anyway, yeah, I've worked out what vitamins you need and therefore which foods provide them and what tier foods. Here we go. What tier foods you can, what foods you can use in different tiers. So in tier 1, the basics, the unprocessed stuff. Fish, veg, and meat. Okay. Fish, veg and meat cover all of them, so if you have some of each of those foodstuffs available for every single house and therefore every single villager, that's all you need. So if it looks like the bakeries are not going to keep up, I can start kind of demolishing them, which will clear space for loads of housing. Build a load more fields, get rid of the fruit fields actually. Just cram them with veg. Absolutely fill it to the gunnels with veg, and that's one way around it. So yeah, way off from that yet. We're quite a way away from the end there, I suspect. But when the time comes, it's good to know you've got that option. And on that note, the growing season's not far off of starting, so I'll be back at some point during the year. Year 77 started. I'm going to single episodes now, I think, just because there's not really a huge amount to share now. I'm still teetering between going for 2,000 residents and not. Looks like I'm working towards it, if nothing else. But in the meantime, other than this watchtower in the very corner, this whole wall section's done. I ended up having to put stairs in because they were going all the way around and back, and that was a cosy place to put them, so I thought, yeah, that'll do. So the wall's done all the way around. Did I do anything else? Don't think I did. Oh, loads of hostels. Now we have 1128 spaces, so that was, I think, 1020 when all the hostels were finally recognised. And I think I've got them all built and all rolling along, you know. So, yeah, next stop will be over 1100. Ports, wild animals are the other two things I'm going for, the achievements. Wild animals are up to very low 20s, and the ports are 44, I think. All 5 expeditions came back this year, so another 2 years. I think it's 1 a year is the maximum you can squeeze out of these, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, 4. It's a season earlier. So maybe in year 78 the expeditions will be done. This area is nice and clean and ready for me to expand out into it. I've already set my stall out, made it quite clear my intention is to conquer the area. Because I didn't really intend to do a lot, I didn't intend to go over 1,000. I didn't really think about what I was doing with this space, so it's a bit cluttered and a bit clumsy. And that looks a lot more like, you know, London or Leamington Spa or Warwick or something in the Tudor times. But they can get through. There's pavements underneath, so they can get through quickly. Because it looks like I'm taking a run at the 2000 possibly. I've started developing the area for these for a 4th Forester's Village area up here. There'll be this little slope here is partially stone roaded, I think. But I've got to do something about the terrain because this is unworkable for the Foresters. So hopefully next year, if I remember to do it, I'll get this all levelled out, and you know, so that any forester that's working there can actually get around his patch. So yeah, might do that. A few people dying from this terraforming lark, putting these pavements in, as seems to happen. They become homeless and eventually starve to death. Oh, there's another one there I can do. So yeah, that was years. Get in there. So that was year 76's progress. Obviously, most of the time, most of the people, 200 best part of, 193 were in the fields. Another 60 in the orchard. There were 69, but I've demolished those 3 fields that were there to make way for this housing area. I bunged another 4 bakeries in somewhere, or 6, those ones. I noticed the vegetable pies were slipping and the fruit pies were. Let's see how they are now. We've got, where's my accountant's house? Now we have another batch of residents. Ah, there it is. So fruit pie, yeah, it's going up. Vegetables going up. Okay, cool. So as it stands, with coming up for 1100 villagers, the pies aren't dropping. Flour is not in too bad shape. I think it's gone down actually since I last looked. I could have sworn it was up in the 30s. Maybe I'm imagining things. Oh, it has. Oh, look at that. What if that's just adding 6 more bakeries? Could that really be a thing? There's 13,000 of the buggers. I'm sure I've got that taken care of in caravan routes. Yeah, there it is. Perhaps I need to tell them to focus on moving the flour around a bit more efficiently. Ah, this is bugged out. All these ratios. Oh, does that mean I've got to go through all the caravan stables again? I hope that didn't happen when all of the villages were reallocated. Right, I'll go through that because that's completely wrong. Yeah, so looks like I need to get on top of the flour again. That's started to drop, so I'll have to make a concerted effort to do something about that. But yeah, otherwise, other than that, just everything's been pulling along. 87 sproglets about to get dumped into the education system, courtesy of the AI recognising all the hostels. I'm just building hostels now as well. 18 in each rather than 10, so I'm squeezing more people into every, was it 10 or 20 or whatever they are. So yeah, anyway, you get the point. Enough said. I'll carry on with this and be back maybe when year 78 starts, see how I get on. So I'm into another year, that's year 77 done. Very quick update. What have I done? I suppose the expeditions, we'll start with them, the Steam achievements first, I guess. 48, I think, of the expeditions out of 50 are done. Lost one of the ships in the last round, so I've got another 4 out. So in theory, as long as 50% of them make it back, should get the Magellan Steam achievement done, I believe it's called. The wild animals, yeah, oh, there we go. I think I've already covered this, but perfect. So, where's the fox? It's off. Cool. So, staying with the wild animal during its like that, and that might not quite be enough. But waiting until this square, there should be enough, waiting until this square of resources appears seems to be the key, so I wasn't doing that. As I said before, being in a rush all the time, I was just escaping out of it. So that in theory is 28 now, of the 50, so it's going to be a while. Oh, that's nice. Approaching the growing season. Another barn done. I'm prepping another great big batch of windmills. Well, I've got loads of people spare, I'm just getting them loading the resources up. Because the flour was keeping up, but now it's not. Population is kind of stagnant, it's stalled again while I wait for the AI. I've got this one as an indicator, and there we go, we're into the growing season. So I've created a new forester's village. 4th or 5th block of buildings, etc., to be able to do the forester's village. So I'm just keeping an eye on this house up in the top left corner, which is this one. When the AI recognises the new houses, that one will become populated, and I can assign the 4. So I've got a collection of 4 foresters' lodges, same as with the other ones really, in a square that between them cover that huge amount of radius. The 5th person living in that house will be a hunter, just to keep the chances of rabies down. So, and last summer we laid all these path network to make the forester's job a bit easier to get around, make them more efficient. So that's done. So yeah, I mentioned I'm building another half a dozen windmills out in this area. Also relayed the orchards, because I had a couple now that were bugged, and some of them were out of alignment, and I wanted to get rid of the 3 that were here, so I've just had a real rebuild of all the orchards. That should be better. I've got me nice, neat, pretty rows as well, so orange, 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 lemon, 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 etc. So they'll be all nice and pretty. Also gave me a chance to lay the pavements so they'll be quicker moving around. Developing this area ready to put loads more hostels in. I was keeping a tally of how many blueprints I've laid, but I've kind of lost track. These are all still empty. There's a load more kicking around. So 1258 spaces, but 1145 villages, because again the AI is not recognising the spaces that are available. So it will be alright soon. Got anything else to do? There's a couple of stone built paths I need to lay there. I can see that I couldn't physically see when it was winter, so I'll just assign a few people to do those while I'm here. Oh, stop it. That's me, not the game. I'm just not controlling my mouse as well as I should be. And again, look at that. I did that one. And I did those. Cool, okay. Let's just let them run. So, yeah, I've just got to think about what I'm going to grow this year. I've got some new fields as well, I forgot about them. Started building some of these fields out here just for more potatoes, because the vegetables are really suffering. Really odd. They're not... I mean, they're going to be building more vegetable pies than they were previously, but Jesus, that's a lot. 34,000 now. So yeah, a bit odd. Sorry. Laggy and snaggy. So yeah, there is our fabulous settlement. Just as they go into the growing season. Good lord, 205 people for the fields. Bloody hell. Wow. And 70 for the orchards. I ain't got enough people. I mean, I'll get everybody out of I'll be able to trim down the caravans and get everybody out of the winter activities, the professions. But yeah, that's starting to slide, I've noticed. Just keep a handful in there if I can. So yeah, last year, good lord, last year was the stroppiest year ever for building fires. Especially we had an autumn or fall storm. Good grief. I kid you not, there were more than 100 building fires in this one storm. I just got so bored with it. Put it on speed 5 and just let it run, didn't do anything else. Just took everybody out of everything they were doing and let them put fires out. It's ludicrous. But there you go, such is the game. So yeah, we are enclosed. We're safe from raiders at this end, other than that very far end, but I'm not overly worried about that at the minute. Get round to that too when I get round to that. For the time being, I'm just building infrastructure and getting everything I need in place and ready to go over here. And then when I run out of room and I've got all this done, then if I need any more room to get to I think I'm going to go for the 2,000 population. So if I need any more room to get to that, I can expand them out there. But yeah, there's a few more holes here and there for bits and bobs that need to be done, need to go in. So we'll see how it goes. Right. And unless anything special happens during the year, I'll be back for another end of year update at the end of year 78. That's the Magellan Steam achievement done. Result: 50 expeditions done. So now we just have the Defender one, killing 50 wild animals whilst they're in pastures, in my domestic animal pastures. 29 I'm up to on that one now. And the 2,000 population, which I managed to agitate the AI into recognising the houses. So 1,312 spots, 1,204 villagers. Not all of those 1,312 will be filled now. There's another one back. Will be filled now. because they... Oh, let's get a crikey. Sorry, it's so laggy. I think it's these ones. There's the other one. So I've got a couple of hostels there that were sorry, just going to do this one. I think a couple of hostels that were have been built after since then, since the AI last recognised the spaces. Sorry, I'm doing too many things at once here. So I don't know, 1180, 1380, maybe 1280. We should get up to on this tranche, this slice. So that will leave a gap of about 700 and something or other to fill. I've been putting blueprints in, ready to build the hostels as I go. In the process of it's such an adventure playing at the minute. Lag. Yeah, I've been putting the pavements in this area and laying the blueprints for more hostels. Got another couple of fields in because clearly vegetables are struggling to keep up. I think I'm going to block this whole area off for hostels, probably down to about there. Just to have pavement, hostels, get the other fields in, the last of the fields in. The forest, this latest forester's village, that's the last one of these I'm going to do, is up and running. I had to really faff around, take control of the individuals once they became labourers, freed them up as labourers, because they were caravanners, weirdly. Freed them up as labourers, walked them to the forester's lodge and then allocated it manually. It's a trip. What can you say? I think with hindsight as well, I would probably have flattened this off, got it lower, because it's one of the high points. As you can see, it's on top of a hill. So every time there is storms, which is all the time of course, with the disasters on, they catch fire, or at least one of those buildings catches fire. So yeah, I'm just God, this is so laggy. I am sorry. So I'm just putting another four windmills in here, putting the stone roads in to support them, of course. I've whacked some of these in, piers and wells in along the back here to provide support for this area for when the fires start and when people die. So yeah, they don't quite, there is a gap. I suppose I'm going to have to put piers in behind these as well. Didn't really want to do that, but that'll stop plague. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Was that another one? No. Yeah, so a little update triggered entirely by another one of the achievements being ticked off, so just to remain. Might be a while getting those, but yep, just to remain. The latest of the annoying little bugs that started happening is this. Suddenly a great raft of villagers shows us being homeless, so I have to poke around until I find the house hostel, which in this case is this one, that suddenly decided to kick him out. Not getting it at all. You can tell they were there before because there are resources in there, And then I have to waste God knows how long farting around trying to encourage the AI to recognise the accommodation block again, whatever it happens to be. Oh boy, it makes it quite hard to play at this level. So that's the end of year 78 and the end of this particular episode. So I'll do them like this from now on with multiple years. I've had to pause it because it's just so laggy and buggy, basically I've been laying the blueprints for hostels, getting all the resources in place. I'm in 2 mines, and I've got like some there, and I've got a load up here, and then this new area up here. I'm in 2 mines, but I might approach this in the years to come from the perspective of kind of rushing it. So there's only 2 Steam achievements left. One of them is to kill 50 wild animals whilst they're in me coops and me pens. I'm plodding along with that. I think I'm at about 30 now, something like that, 30 out of 50. And the last one will be for the 2,000 population. So I think once I've got the population to a point where, to a level where the resources I have, you know, the pies and whatever you, are quite stretched, I'll change tactics, and hopefully by then the defender achievement would have been done, and I would have snuffed out 50 wild animals trying to kill me beasties. Because if that's the case, I might rush the last of the 2,000. This particular one's alright because it's got labourers and things. What's a blacksmith doing there? The blacksmith's in the very far opposite corner. It's doing this. I've got, like, last time I looked, there was one here that's all caravanners. That there was another one that had just children. That's been changed now because I was aggravating the AI into relocating people. There was one that had just like 5 children in, and they all died because there was no adults in there to get what's the word I'm looking for? Charcoal to keep the house warm, so they would die from hypothermia. What do you do? So yeah, there are bugs galore at the minute. Now I'm at this sort of size, this level, to do with the AI and its allocation of people that you've heard me moan about for years now. So I'll get the defender one done, get the population up to a point where the pies and the charcoal are becoming stretched, and then I'll just hold, and I think I'm going to put the blueprints in place with all the resources in place like this for all of the hostels I'll need to charge up to 2,000. Probably go for about 2,050, and then I'll just dump loads of people in the system and just work on purely moving resources around to keep them all alive, basically. Which is a massive pain to have to do that after all this effort, but this has just become very difficult to play now. And I'm only on, 1,240 odd? So, it's truth. Another 750 in the population in the game, and I'm really going to know about it. So, at any rate, I'll wrap this episode up and be back to continue with the next episode, however many years it might include, in a few days' time. Alright, see you then. Ta-da.